Good evening, everyone. I was told to put this on, so.
Suggested to. It is truly an honor to have the opportunity to share my story with you all tonight. Thank you, President Ryan, and the rest of your staff who set this up and made this process pretty seamless for me. My name is Skylar Dahl, and I was born with bilateral club foot. So that just means that when I was born, my feet were turned inwards and upside down. I'm also a fourth-year student here at UVA on the rowing team, as well as a member of the U.S. national team. So how did clubfoot get me to where I am today? Well, at just 5 days old, I had the first of many surgeries to correct my feet. After this came a year of serial casting from my toes to my hips, as well as a fancy set of shoes connected by a metal bar in between. Spending all this time in hospitals and around doctors, my parents were told over and over again, I won't run, I won't jump, I'll be grateful just to walk without too much support. And for some strange reason, I wanted to do the one thing I was told I couldn't. I wanted to run, I wanted to jump, to play those hard impact sports that doctors said wouldn't be a good idea. I just wanted to compete. So I found soccer and basketball. And I excelled at both of them for many years. I trained hard and often with the goal of attending college on an athletic scholarship for basketball. But then the pain started. Like I had said, I had been able to play for many years without the pain until it had gotten to the point that the hard impact and the constant pressure on the hard gym floors just wore my feet down. It had reached the point that my growing bones had nowhere to go but against each other. But I just kept playing through the pain because I wanted to play so bad. That was just what I knew. That was my life. Until the bones started breaking. So then came more surgeries, placing pins to bring my bones back together. And I recovered through months of rest and rehab, and I headed back to the court. And then they broke again. And at this point, I'm in the 9th grade with college prospects on the horizon. I had visited schools, met with coaches, was being considered for Division I offers. But now I'm having to face the toughest decision yet. I can no longer play basketball because my feet just wouldn't allow it. I am having to turn my jersey into the coach's office with tears in my eyes, having to quit the sport I loved, even quit athletics altogether, or find the next great sport. And I should have known that when one door closes, another one opens, because through all of this, I come to find that my neighbor had been following along, and she said to me, "You're tall, you've got long arms, go row." I knew nothing about this sport. I'm from Minnesota. It's really not a thing up there. But I had maybe seen it on TV once during the Olympics, but I said, sure, why not? So that next spring break, my family and I drove down to South Carolina, and we got in a boat. We all did, actually. We all got in a boat just to try it for a few days, and then came back home to Minnesota, and I found one of just a few small clubs in the state, and I had found it, the next sport for me. Come February of 2020, my parents and I hopped in the car, drove from small town Circle Pines, Minnesota, to the grounds of Charlottesville. On my first visit to grounds, I was met with an emotional moment. Coach Kevin Sauer had just received news that the approaching spring season would be over due to the pandemic, and he would have to go and deliver that news to his team. That same afternoon, he introduced me to the team, and I remember being amazed, thinking, wow, these are athletes. This is all I've ever wanted. And then I witnessed him share this heartbreaking news to a huddle of 60 athletes. That revealed to me how big of a deal this was, how strongly these young people felt about a program and a place. And this unexpected visit solidified my decision to come to UVA. Fast forward 2 years, Coach Kevin said to me, "Sky, do you want to check out para rowing?" I had never heard of this. I didn't know what it meant. I certainly didn't know that it would lead to some of the most unique experiences of my life. So I looked into it, and that same year I met 3 other college rowers, all with club foot. And it blew my mind because I had gone 19 years without meeting another club footer, and now I get to row with them. So because of that intro, I found myself on the U.S. national team, traveled the world in ways I never dreamed, rowed on some of the most beautiful bodies of water, and won a silver medal at the Paralympic Games in Paris this summer with some of my best friends, my clubbies. This experience, being on the para-national team, has given me a voice, a chance to really know myself. I'm now able to express the absolute me and be fearless in sharing that with you. I have come to terms with this thing called a disability. We talk a lot about disability advocacy and the Paralympic Revolution, but for me, the word disability wasn't something that I had growing up. I wasn't disabled. I just happened to be born with a challenge for me to overcome. Now, I have a physical disability, but I've never really felt that it kept me from doing what I wanted. And now that is somewhat of a lie, as I should, because in some ways it did keep me from doing what I wanted. I still feel the pain from time to time, and I'm reminded of how far I've come. I'm reminded of how hard I worked to get things right rather than what seemed to go wrong. Before I even knew it, I was finding ways to make sport, competition, life doable and succeed in all the ways I wanted. Through my 21 years, I have learned to walk through the door, try the sport, take the chance, feel those nerves, and push myself. I will never have regret for the things I risked, the pain I felt, the blood, sweat, tears it took to get to where I am today. So, what is it that makes you uniquely you? Whatever that thing is, embrace it. Own it and be unafraid to talk about it. Because when I finally owned it and decided to talk about it, I didn't do so for 19 years. I didn't do so because I had fear that it would put me in a box and keep me from what I wanted. But when I was ready to own it and talk about it, I found a welcoming community. And I had much of that welcoming community all along. My family and some of my best friends and Coach Kevin are here supporting me. So find those people to relate to, find those people to be inspired by, because there is a powerful, meaningful place for all of us. Thank you.